Hello and welcome to the Hunt, Banish, Extract podcast, the podcast that came back with the milk, unlike your father. Sorry about that. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, aka DJ. With me are three of my beautiful co-hosts today, Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
I'm just here for the milk.
No Mortal Z, aka Air.
It was promised in and out.
And the patron saint of 3 stars, aka Rat329.
There's no toy in this Happy Meal.
You'll be happy with the milk and you'll be happy that I'm back. Okay, so we missed a week last week. Sorry about that, everyone. We got a little distracted and we got a little bit tied up in a future to come episode. Look forward to that. Also, I want to do a very quick shout out to Waiting for Other Players podcast. They had our beautiful Rat329 on there. Thank you again, John Cat.
Love you guys.
You guys did an excellent job. I listened to that episode myself, and I couldn't agree more with him. We need more Hunt content, guys. Everybody, listen to all the Hunt podcasts, watch all the Hunt YouTubers.
Make your own until we have like 800 Hunt podcasts.
And tell us all about it.
But to keep with the trend, don't go past 10 episodes.
Yeah, just make sure that the podcast dies. You see, we're trying to break that trend because it seems like a lot of old Hunt podcasts kind of came up from nowhere and then suddenly fizzled out. We're trying to break that trend. See, we had you going for the extra week that we were missing. We just wanted to make sure that you guys were still paying attention. But we've been very much deep into this recent event, which everything's been feeling real quiet, mostly because this is the most average event that we've had in a long time, because this is the quiet before the storm. This is the event before the engine upgrade. But with all of that, we can talk more about casual things. We can talk more about just casual loadouts, whatever we want to run or everything else. Well, guys, I want to start off with a very mild subject because these guns were more of the more fun ones added recently, the Marathon and the Mako. I was absolutely right about what I thought I'd be excited about. I think that the Marathon's amazing. What do you boys think?
I use it so much more now.
I'd argue the Marathon's the best.
It really is. It just, especially with that quick ass hip fire. What are you thinking, Richard?
It's a reasonable gun. Since I played last time, I haven't gotten much experience, but I've managed to take it from one of my victims last time, so I was able to try it out. But it seemed like it's got some fun and nice reliability to it.
Well, what really gets me is I kind of had a little theory and I wasn't exactly sure on it until I really took it into the bayou. Now I'm almost confident, especially with that fast hip fire and where Iron Eye makes it completely competitive with the Winfield. I think it outclasses the Winfield. I honest to God think that the Marathon, it doesn't need the trait to hip fire as fast. It's not as fast as levering, but where it doesn't take up a trait slot, it's arguably better.
Well, you're also forgetting that the spread for the hip fire is roughly the size of their head as opposed to...
It is tighter.
Yeah, it's a super tight hip fire.
Which
it
is
didn't seem as slow.
Yeah. It's arguably my favorite part of the whole gun is how viable hip fire is, because, I mean, hip fire with anything else, and you're basically placing a bet you might lose even. And with the Mako, I will kind of admit that I feel wrong about the gun overall. I did try levering on it, and I was shocked. I was shocked that it landed at all. I did have a couple of times where I looked like a fucking idiot levering it, but I would argue I probably was wrong. It's not the worst. I would advise against levering the Mako next to your enemy unless you love wasting ammo. Unless you have explosive.
I'm just saying the Bomberman loadout fucking does it.
And it was fun. speaking of explosive ammo, I recently watched a video, and since we're starting to get more of you consistently watching, by the way, thank all of you so much for your recent reviews, comments, everything. You guys are amazing. We appreciate it very much. That's why we're here, and we hope to keep this going. But the explosive ammo changes have been noticeable with the headshot range increase. And there was a recent video by Hunt Lab, I believe his name is. He is an amazing YouTuber. I'm sure you guys probably already know him, since everybody who's looking for hunt content is inevitably going to find him. If not, I'm going to link the video in our show notes. Great video.
The man goes balls deep into the fucking
Oh, it's nice and
stats.
simple and straight to the point.
Yeah,
Not too long.
Great content overall. If you haven't already, I'll link you right to him. But he talked about the explosive ammo changes a bit, and even the explosive ammo overall, which there was a statistic I had no idea about in the first place. But explosive ammo, the damage that it does to the hunter is based off of the distance to their feet, which I don't fucking understand at all. That's a statistic. Good job, Crytek. What the fuck? But because the closer it is to their feet, the more damage it does. The closer it is to their chest, the more mid-range damage it does. And I mean, sure, that's a way to balance your game, I guess. But one thing that a lot of people don't even realize, that I actually found a little bit before I listened to this video, is since the explosive ammo type does damage after the initial hit, the explosion always does the guaranteed damage after the bullet lands. So you technically do more damage over range. Explosive ammo is viable if you can lead those shots at literally 300 meters.
Yep.
Because you'll always get guaranteed explosive damage. And I've never been one to take it myself. Do you guys ever experiment with it?
I love explosive ammo. I mean, I straight up in the video, he was talking about it being super memey and super hilarious, and that's half the reason why I want to try it out, because, you know, bullet goes in and then makes a boom sound, and then you hear them crying in pain. It's just that it's really funny to take. I even did it in the uppercut, and I seem to hit my shots more with the explosive, oddly enough.
I take explosive all the time too, but that's just because I like the thought that I'm committing a war crime, because it's been a war crime since 1865 to use explosive ammo.
Hell yeah.
Fun fact. But you can actually do more damage over much, much longer ranges than FMJ with explosive if you're insane with your aim. That's actually one thing I found, since the guaranteed explosive damage does trigger if the bullet hits out off of those extremely long ranges. And I guess if you aim at their feet, even better if you hit them in the leg. But
Explosive nitro, go burr.
explosive nitro is one hell of a meme, but you could technically do some very, very ugly things with it. Fun fact, also in that video, if you can land an explosive nitro shot very, very accurately into the middle of a concertina bomb after it's been deployed on your teammate, obviously, you can destroy almost the entire concertina bomb's worth of wire. I don't know why the hell you'll use a bullet for that reason, or why you have a nitro explosive in the first place, but if you ever do, congratulations.
To feel like a fucking badass. That sounds awesome.
Well, there was one prestige where, like, I just had lots of money and I just took a nitro every match with explosive because I was just having a freaking good ass time. So,
I'm gonna say that sounds like a fun prestige.
well, obviously I had to make it, and this was before, like, you could get the guns at level 1, so it
New
was,
prestige challenge, nitro
Yeah.
explosive every round.
if you can afford it. I
Keyword
must
if
have been on fire.
yeah, you
He's
have to
good.
have some major scratch to be able to pull off this memeage, but it's worth it if you're feeling real fucking cheeky, man.
Oh yeah.
I did a test. I have no idea if it's still completely viable, but I did this in the shooting range. Compact ammo itself completely disappears after 304 meters. Medium ammo at 355, and long ammo I couldn't test because I couldn't get an angle past a certain meter amount. But I mean, if you're shooting from fucking 400 meters with long ammo, you're cracked in the first place. But compact ammo will still technically hit your target up to 300 meters. That's kind of insane if you can even fucking see them. So the bullets technically have one hell of a distance difference. The type of ammo is completely irrelevant. I did test multiple. And what's even funnier is technically the explosive ammo, what I was talking about earlier, the headshots are more damaging over, I believe it's 200-meter ranges than FMJ because of that explosion itself. But the bullet projectile itself does the least amount of damage. It's the explosive itself that does the key damage. That's why it seems to be viable over ranges. But now with the buff, however many meters, up to 50 meters, I mean, go nuts. Explosive ammo is on the up and up, but it's never going to be what it once was. Thank God we don't want the explosive ammo meta back in our bayou.
Speak for yourself.
I will speak for myself, and I'll speak for those poor console players. You folks got bullied by it enough. You don't deserve it again. Well, it also seems
let
like
something else get a new meta.
well, hey, they matter too. I'm sick of people
No,
pretending
I'm
like
saying what I'm saying is that we had it once, so let's get something else new in here.
it used to be
It's a new
viable enough
function.
that it was commonly used on PC. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
pretty disgusting.
I'm in agreement with you there.
I want it back. Please come
Shut
back
the
to
fuck
me.
up.
No, rat, get out of here.
I
Bad
still
So-
look at your picture every day, explosive ammo meta.
The marathon apparently also has a small bug. I've experienced it myself. Even with bullet grubber, sometimes you're losing a bullet. I'm wondering if that's going to get fixed in the next patch. They tend to like to play the I don't see anything, I don't hear anything game, you know, the hear no evil, speak no evil.
In 3 to
So
9 business years, we'll
even
we'll
even
get
with
it fixed.
yeah, because even with the bullet grubber animation, grabbing your bullet, putting it back in the gun, it seems like we still have a glitch, unfortunately, but it only seems to happen in the beginning of the match, which is even weirder because I've tested it multiple times. And the um it seems like we've also got a very large cheating problem. According to
Oh, really?
take it with a grain of salt because Reddit is the saltiest place on earth. But I don't disagree. I have ran into exactly 2 blatant cheaters in the last month, which is, I mean, more than one. A and B, I'm really fucking fascinated how they're even becoming prominent in the first place. It seems like it's an overall PC problem. It seems like they're invading a lot more games. Aaron, didn't you specifically say that you had heard about reports of them in like Valorant and
No, it was I blame Easy Anti-Cheat. EAC is literally the worst thing on earth. It was Apex. Apex literally had it
Apex?
happen in a tournament.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, people are able to run scripts even easier and inject your PCs with scripts now. So it's part of the reason why I really haven't been playing, but they're only those people that are injecting into PCs are only really playing on or they're not playing, doing it on Apex, and yeah, it's becoming a real problem. And I'm kind of glad that I don't fucking play anything at all right now, to be honest.
At least any competitive first-person shooter, yeah.
Yeah,
It's shocking that that shit has become so invasive because the subreddit is littered with it. I don't see it as often as other people, and I've been dipping back into 5 again. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to get higher into the 5 stars, I guess. But
Rub it
that's
in.
it's
I don't know. I feel like every
No.
time I got on, there was some like really weird shots being hit on me that were coming from people. Like I hate to pull the whole the kitty thing, but it's like the people that have a couple hundred kills, maybe, if that, that are at a KD of 1.02, and then they're hitting me with a headshot 300 meters away
there have
with no
been.
scope.
I feel like I will give people this. I feel like I've had to literally sweat my balls off every single time I've played. I feel like I absolutely cannot miss a shot. I feel like it's headshot or be headshotted, which I have not felt like that in Hunt in a long ass time. I mean, I've had some sweaty nights, sure, but I feel like missing a shot is death, and not landing a shot is the only guaranteed win, which is weird.
Which
And
sucks when you have my aim.
well, and it feels like it definitely feels like people with KDs that are nowhere even close to me are landing some very fucking weird shots. I also don't always check their region, so it could be people from other countries with ping, but
It
that's still
usually is too.
And
it's
there's
still
all this luck though, because sometimes I'm just like god tier, and then other
well,
times I'm like donkey shit.
the fact that they're all headshots is what's really getting to me because I swear to God, I'm
Pretty much
rarely
every death
tapping
I've had
R.
lately. Pretty
Well,
much
I will say
every
with
death.
dualies, that never feels right because it's RNGesus. We're putting in his
Well,
work.
it's I don't disagree, but I swear to God, I haven't had a dually headshot happen to me, and it feels like forever. Which you
Yeah,
would think that would be euphoric, but it's more like I'm getting headshot by the fucking guy who brought a Sparks, who's sitting in a bush, and it feels like the fraction of a second I peek. Might be copium, man, but it's fucking freaky how I I used to get body tap killed all the time, and now it's like if I even bother going to fucking sniff the corner, suddenly they fucking spot me within that fraction of a second and I'm dead.
I mean, your addiction to sniffing corners is finally just
Well, they just smell so
coming
good.
back on you.
I just
Kind of
can't
like
help
all
myself.
that time that you spend licking the windows. Like, you got to stop that, man. You're gonna get a cold.
My
Yeah.
helmet always gets in the way.
Unfortunately, I feel like I just feel like in terms of gaming in general, like as a whole, everyone has a winner's mentality and only wants to win. So everything has gotten so much sweatier. Nobody wants to get better at things, they just want to win. Nobody wants to get like good at things. Nobody wants to have fun anymore. Everyone just wants to get on and win. I want to get on and have fun.
To lose?
Yeah, and
win.
that's literally a complete issue that we have with the modern generation of gaming at this point, because it's not just Hunt, it's Halo, it's Call of Duty, it's fucking fighting games, Tekken, Street Fighter, fucking Guilty Gear, everything. Because nobody, I get it, nobody wants to lose, but nobody knows how to have fun without winning anymore.
I don't
And
disagree.
I feel like part of that, at least in my opinion, part of it is the removal of fucking couch co-op and LAN, and because nobody really comes together anymore. Everyone just kind of sits in their room and plays a game, and everyone wants to be the next big Twitch streamer. So, yeah, I feel old doing this, but I'm the youngest one here. So,
Yeah. Well, Red, did you have something to say first?
No,
just
no,
making
I
old
was-
jokes.
Yeah, I was just making an old joke because he was like, "It's the removal of co-op." It's like back in my day, we
'Cause
didn't
I'm
have online co-op.
old.
Not even really co-op
We
in
sat on
general.
the couch and we told each other that we would fuck their moms to their face.
Exactly, dude. That's part of the reason why I um like honestly one of the big communities that I can respect right now are the FGC, because even in my area there's a very small community that is continuously growing because of fighting games and people actually wanting to come together and get better. However, when you go online in these same fighting games, it's a completely different environment because, like I said, everybody online just wants to win. Nobody wants to have fun. And it's
And
an unfortunate reality we have to kind of face now.
well, there's a very specific video I watched from Asmongold. I know, give the opinions of the already over opinionated, right? But he had a great point, and I think it touches on exactly what you're saying, because he said that Twitch ruined gaming in the sense that
It did.
everybody wants to be a Twitch streamer. Everybody wants to be competitive. Everybody wants to be that TTV with subscribers. And so they'll play their fucking balls off because I won't let. What's funny is it's usually the TTVs that I wipe the fucking floor with.
Same here.
But, but that I've definitely experienced some that are major tryhards that absolutely fucking smoked me. And it's sad that that's what it's come to, where it's like they're flexing more for potential money and fame than they are, like old Call of Duty lobbies, like Rat said, like I fucked your mom, that I also don't miss that shit, but I also miss people just being competitive for the sake of being good.
There's a reason that every time I stream, it's not to show that I'm good at the game, because I'm not. I just do stupid shit and hope it's funny.
I mean, we
That's
can only
the way
hope.
to go.
Yeah, to have a personality is a lot more than skill, because you can turn on 4 or 5 Twitch streams, all of them vastly different number of viewers, and you'll probably get a very high skill cap realistically. But
Well, when you look at it in a realistic sense, a lot of the people that have a lot of viewers, like, okay, they can have a pretty decent skill, but majority of the time, people are gonna go to the people who are just having fun and just doing their own thing, which is why Von Boost is so popular with the EU community and the early morning crowd here in the US. Fucking Nino is so fucking popular because he can literally go in with nothing and make it out. It's more like you can showcase your skill, but these people are entertaining to watch. Whereas people who are going solely for the fact that they just want to fucking win and be the next big esports thing or be the next fucking big content creator because they're so good at the game, it's in a sense they're ruining their own market.
If I'm being honest here, like I think a lot of them don't have that good of personalities. They just happen to get lucky. So,
Exactly.
that's how it happens. Because you gave 2 examples of 2 hunt people. I like one for his personality. The other one I think is quite boring, but very skilled. And I'll let you guys figure out which.
I already know the two
well,
because I have the same opinion.
I have to slightly disagree because I don't think this shit is at all luck based, at least in
It's not
Hunt.
all
Because
luck. No, I'm talking about like viewership and things like that. When it
okay,
comes
sure.
to like even business models or anything like that, a lot of it's just luck. It's not necessarily, it's like capitalism, not everything just because it's the best thing, that doesn't, like, it's not the best. It just wins out because they got lucky.
I will safely say that from my personal viewings, I have always found that the Hunt creators, most of them, have all been extraordinary. I think that this tight knit
Yeah.
community has really
Yeah.
birthed a lot of good creators, and
I will agree with that statement, actually.
It's that and the it's that everybody just seems to be really nice. Like you pop into their stream and it's rare that they're being toxic about killing you.
Yeah.
Normally, like if you look back, it's like, oh, good game. Or you kill them and they start laughing. One of the two.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, it's not like the FGC where you go to their TTV, you say GG, they get mad at you and ban you immediately.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, that's people in general, we're a lot nicer than we all think we are, if that makes sense. Like,
Not here.
everyone's nicer than they are
I'm just
acting.
kidding.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I love
No.
you
No,
sometimes.
no, you viewers are actually amazing. Actually, I want to move on to the segment here to give all of you credit because, it's been a slow week, and what better time, especially since we had a question that you guys all gave fantastic answers to. But we'll
Yes.
start with which gun all of you were most excited for this patch, because I did the Mako and the Marathon, the two big ones. Mako got 2 votes. Still a great gun. But the Marathon got 5. It is very obvious the Marathon was going to be the most used, even from our own audience. And I think we all agree with all of you. But the big question, the names that all of you gave your Beatles, and I will save one answer for last because I have a very funny connection I want to make with it. And, well, obviously we have our Sir Kaiser, who always loves to flex his Beatle names. Go right ahead,
Yes,
Richard.
Flex. Though I thought we were gonna go off our wonderful fans and our listeners.
You always name them. I figured you could name them first,
All right, you guys always hear it here. You always hear my Beatle names. You got your refrigerator. You got your. I got a blank. Microwave
Toaster.
and then toaster. Yep.
Yeah.
And
And
it's all just based off like me just enjoying a meme, and then our fellow co-host Sleepy, he's like, "What did you name your Beatle?" And then I was like, "Refrigerator."
because it has to do with the I love refrigerators meme. If you're even curious where the hell that shit even started. But starting from the very first, not that comment. Sorry, the very first comment, I have a fun one for you. Casey Latart, a returning commenter. Good to see you again. Your Beetle name is the boy. Side comment, cut the max amount of traits on a hunter in half. Couldn't agree more. I'm so sick of too many traits. But the boy, I mean, that's a reliable last name.
There you go. There you go.
Kaiser Bun. Kai, small shout out to you. Thank you so much for the games, man. You were
Love
great.
you, buddy.
You have Steve, Cough Drop, S'mores. I would love if you talked about new barrel types. We'll touch on that
Cough drop.
right after. Yeah, Cough Drop's amazing. I love S'mores
Yeah.
personally. New barrel types to be introduced. Your idea is a frag barrel. Okay. We'll touch on that right after this. And then Cutting Rogue, another returning veteran here, a
We love
very
you
frequent
too.
commenter. You got Smoke Blazing Crimson. That's kind of sick. I like that. Smoke Blazing Crimson.
Yeah.
All right.
All solid.
And
And
Sean
I like,
Oh,
real
go ahead.
quick,
Go
I
ahead.
like his comment about he pets them after every match.
That's true.
As
That's
he
true.
should.
They all get
boys.
pets.
As
That's
he
a
should.
good man. Pet them Beatles, please. Sean Brothers, you said Chokey and Char. I only use Choke and Fire, and I love
like it.
it. I love it. But you're missing out the very initial first Beatle is my personal favorite. That Bleed and
Mine too.
Poison. I couldn't give enough praise to that. And then Antoine Lamb. I like this answer, and let me tell you why. I can't give them names, or I'll get attached and become unable to launch them to explode at someone's face.
I love
think
that answer too.
that's a hilarious answer. But let me tell you why I like that answer. Because my answer for I name all of my Beatles the same name. I haven't decided on a different name for all of them, and it's an ode to my German cousin. Because all I can really remember is he came to the U.S. He had, I swear to God, like a Nintendo fucking, or what was it? Like the Game Boy Advance, the very, very early ones. And he had like Pokemon Red. And he named all of his Pokemon one name, Shithead. all of his fucking Pokemon in the fucking Pokedex because he thought that English word was so goddamn funny, shithead. And I name my fucking beetle shithead in his honor because I think it's so funny and it's so easy to not get attached to something named shithead.
Oh,
For
yeah.
yourself, I had a friend with a
I
cat
love
named
shithead.
Butthole, and I was attached to that cat.
Well, I'm
not a
sorry.
fan of cats, but
Might
Butthole
be
was cool.
might be something to do with the buttholes, so maybe
I
you should
mean-
get that looked at, right?
Perhaps.
Hell, God. Thank you guys all so much. Those beetle names were fantastic.
Those are awesome.
But Kaiser Bun, Mr. Kai, the barrel ideas, because a frag barrel is an interesting idea. I'm not sure how that could be balanced beyond the red barrel other than, like a 30 feet shrapnel
Oh, I didn't mean to do
that
that.
shoots every direction. I think that could be an interesting idea. I just think it might not add much past being a potential accidental bleed proc. But I think the hive barrel is where I would realistically have made an idea. So if I had to give another idea, maybe something that has to do with like the assassin's cockroaches, where it's something that crawls on the ground and crawls to the nearest
I think
hunter.
we talked about that at one
Hold
point,
up.
actually.
Kind of, in a sense.
What about like
Kind of, yeah.
What about like a princess necrotic energy barrel
Yeah, that's
that like
what I
takes
was
away
gonna
your
say.
stamina?
that
It's
same
like
thing?
that energy.
Just completely
yeah.
drops your stamina so you can't run away.
Yeah, because
Kind of like a slow barrel.
in a previous episode we did talk about how you could throw a jar full of it.
That would
Yeah.
be great. I still stand by that.
What were we saying, Richard?
I was just agreeing there. That's
Okay.
what I was saying. Previous episode and things like that. Yeah.
Besides that, it really gets a little unless you maybe a hellfire barrel, so it's not the yellow barrel, it's even more explosive. So kind of like what you're saying with the frag barrel, maybe an even bigger exploding yellow barrel that's orange. That's just kind of I don't know. That's just icing at that point. So barrels are kind of a complicated balance because they're almost perfect as is, ketchup, mustard, and relish as they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we need a barbecue sauce barrel, okay?
We could use brown, I guess. Maybe even one that just
A
drops decoys.
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Oh my god.
A white barrel.
Glizzy.
It doesn't do anything. You just kind of walk away feeling like you just got out of a Japanese porno.
You know, when I
God.
said that, I wasn't actually thinking of that. So good on you, I guess.
A stinky barrel.
cocky.
A stinky barrel
God.
that drops rotten fish that makes you cough. There you go. How's that?
Oh god, no, that reminds me of like Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, where you'd like shoot a skunk at people, it would explode, and then you could go bounty them while they were barfing.
Oh hell.
Just make them start barfing. You can walk over and beat the shit out of them.
What about chili? Chili's good on a hot dog. Oh, are we not talking about hot dogs? Oh, sorry.
We're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog now?
Oh, my
Chili
God.
dogs.
Chili dog.
This is my OC. Don't steal, please.
So, games. Well, we were talking about how Twitch partners were recently getting skins. Games with Death, one of my personal favorites to watch. Also, I'm actually so happy he got a skin. He got a Drilling Hatchet skin, and Rat specifically is one of its biggest fans.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It is a really good looking
really
skin.
pretty one.
So pretty. And it goes with one of the new I'm not a huge fan of the charms, but it goes with that like skull hourglass charm in the battle pass so well.
I do love the
That's
skull
not
on the
on-
front.
I'm still not sold on the charms.
The charms, man, I feel like you're putting it on as like a sunken cost fallacy at this point. I feel like most
Yeah,
people put on the charms
yeah.
because
I'm
you
with
have
I don't see
them.
them that often, but when I
I'm
do,
with
it's
you.
like
I
I'm
only
with you
see them.
there.
I only see them during an event, and it's always the event's charms, and then they suddenly disappear. I
And then
almost
they-
never. Yeah. Almost never after that, man. And I don't think they're a bad idea. I think
They're not,
the
it's just because
animations,
every other game is doing them.
the animations on them are so goddamn funky. And not only that, the charms per event are usually so bogus. Shockingly, this event has not had hardly any, which I'm actually very thankful for because I kind of think they're forgettable in the first place.
Yep.
Most of the time, I actually like the stopwatch at the end of this battle pass, but that's also going to be another one on the pile.
Yeah.
I did forget to touch on this just because it's an interesting fact, but the Nitro does technically have an infinite 2-tap range with explosive ammo. I did forget to mention that with explosive ammo, but that should be noted.
As it should be.
That's kind of, so if you're really good at leading a really low velocity bullets over fucking your opponent being half a fucking football field away, go nuts.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah. Hey, if they're already like way the fuck ahead of you. But we've also got the overall feeling of the whole event. We've got how everything's felt so far. I definitely love that middle section that we talked about on the previous episode where it's like the master clue sometimes. The spare what is it? The token bounty token when Raja isn't there potentially. There's usually like an explosive box, the ammo box, the 3-shot or was it 4-shot boon that you can get. That one's surprisingly one of the most taken by me personally. I love having a regen, freaking anti-toxin, and the stamina. I can't live without those most of the time. I swear the 4-shot boon is probably a little too strong. I kind of want it to go away. I don't want people to just be able to pick that up at whim.
It is surprisingly good.
Yeah. Because, like, the explosive box, I thought that would be worse than it was. It's probably much worse at higher elos. It's because, my God, I hate when I dodge a frag bomb and then you hear a second one cooking and you're like, bro, I just fucking ran. Overall, that middle section needs to stay. I think that we could do without 4-shot boon and maybe explosive box. I think the master clue should stay. That's a good incentive to run to the center of the map. I think that absolutely should stay. Thoughts? Feelings? Concerns? We all agree. My voice is the
I
loudest.
kind of like
Like
it.
I
It's
said last. Oh,
I
go on,
like the way it is. It's because like that, I rarely take the 4-shot boon. I normally save it for the experience boons
Me too.
because I'm a whore.
Well, I'm almost done prestiging,
Same.
so it's rare for me to give a flying fuck about them. Please, Crytek, revert the level 50 retirement. I don't know what you were thinking. You were so flawed to think that that was a good idea. Overall, everything
Stick to
else,
the game.
yeah, it really makes me feel like I'm punished for playing well because it was really nice to have a level 25 to just throw at my my leveling, especially since I really want to get those last few levels out of the way.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It didn't make any sense. That's all.
I will also say real quick, Hoot and Holler, that big dynamite bundle skin. I mean, I like it. Why the fuck did it take? Why the fuck is it taking so long for some of these skins to come out? Some of these really necessary skins, like a Hellfire Bomb skin. Come on, I love that fucking throwable. What are we doing? It took us how long to get Dr. Snare a poison bomb? How many people are laying those damn traps? And we only just now got it, and it was specifically with the bundle for the Plague Doctors. I'm not saying it's not a good skin, but why did it take so long for something that is so highly used?
Was the other stuff is more marketable, maybe?
But that's
making
highly
it-
marketable. People wanted it for so long.
I mean,
Concertina traps.
let's
Got
remember.
3.
Let's remember how long it took them to get a choke bomb skin that wasn't from Light the Shadow.
That's true. The fucking wait, Cicada was from Light the Shadow, was it?
Yeah.
Shit, was it that long ago? Really?
Mhm.
Well, goddamn.
Because it was one of the events that I missed, and I was pissed about it.
It was 1,000 blood bond skin. I mean, it was technically 200 if you did the other events and blah blah blah. I didn't care. I didn't want to pay for a skin. I ended up paying for a different one anyway, so I'm the fool. But the headsman, we talked about it a little bit before, but I definitely have not seen him at all. But the reptile has definitely taken his place. Wait for Reddit to fucking pick up on that. They already mentioned him. Wait for them to bitch about it more. All the softies getting really butthurt about shit. No offense, I get it. I've got my own complaints, but y'all are a bunch of the people on Reddit are a species. Let's put it that way. And the upper mat surprisingly did become an extremely viable gun due to that 126 damage. That 6 damage really put it over the edge, but it's still not quite as competitive as an uppercut in some
It's that single
forms.
slot. That's that single
Upper
slot.
mat is not a single slot. It probably should change to a single slot.
No, I'm saying the uppercut is in single shot. That's why it's so much more viable.
Yeah, it's just even the uppercut with the stock is still more viable because that lack
That's
of
true,
recoil is so strong, and that damage on an uppercut is what makes it so clean. That 126 is like you have to be in range. That uppercut's got that little bit of damage buff compared to it, and granted, the upper mat has got more velocity. I still don't see upper mats. I see uppercuts all the fucking time, so it's still outclassed.
Doesn't the upper mat cost more too? A lot
It
more?
does. It
I've
does.
been seeing it a lot, honestly.
And
Yeah.
even with traits being abundant and
I prefer the upper mat if I'm being honest, but since it costs so much, I never take
it's
it.
not disliked. It's just not meta still. I don't know why
Yeah.
they don't just take the extra push. It's got more velocity than the uppercut now. It just needs that final push of the damage to equal or be above. Well, maybe don't be above. But it's strange that they leave it at a 2 slot, especially where Katana got a 1 slot. It's not an overpowered melee, but once again, you don't. It saves a trait.
If it's got a trait for it, it's overpowered. Which means all melees are overpowered right now.
Melees definitely feel strong. Overpowered, maybe not, but yeah, definitely strong. And I still think that the Caldwell rival getting Dragon's Breath is a sleeper. Don't sleep on that, people, man. That thing
it
fucking
hurts.
destroys. It fucking destroys. Don't underestimate a fast follow-up shot. That's the reason it can outdo a Crown and King in certain situations.
That's the reason everybody hates the drilling, even though I love it.
That's why it put the Springfield in the dirt for a long time, but the Springfield's
Nothing will put the Springfield in the dirt. That's my baby.
until something comes along. I'm telling you, the Centennial
Only
and
a
the
matter
drill.
of time.
The only reason the drilling doesn't is price, and the only reason that the Centennial doesn't is because obviously their reload's not great, and damage arguably is one of the biggest things. But otherwise, I definitely think the Springfield is barely hanging on by a fucking wire, meta-wise, if you can even say it's meta at all. But the fucking certain things which I wrote down a little while ago, like the Corvus saber, the bird skull, the saber that came around the time that
Yeah.
oh hell, what the Krampus skin? I forget his exact name. The Devil's Advocate came out. He, I mean, is obviously one of the most popular skins, but the Corvus got a unique interaction, like the inspection.
Really?
So, yeah, that one specifically has a unique inspection. I think there are a few more, but there are certain skins that you should look out for. Because specifically since the hilt of the gun is the crow skull, it tries to pay more attention to it.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I have no idea if you're getting knuckle punched to the face very much, but horn skin will save you from a headshot to knuckles. That's not very relevant, but that's a cool bit of information. I did not test that myself. That was actually shown on a video that I watched. But a fun old glitch that used to be extremely popular where you would take a crossbow and you would take a dynamite bundle and you would shoot the dynamite bundle with the crossbow to launch it like a fucking rocket launcher across the map. Kind of still lives, but it's not as strong. If you use the
Dynamite
bow
Golf still lives?
Dynamite Golf still lives barely. If you have the bow and arrow, you can shoot it. It won't be nearly as crazy, but you can still launch your dynamite sticks. It's just gonna just be careful because you have to get the angle just right. And I've kind of wondered what you guys have thought about like certain loadouts, ones that really appeal to you that you've been playing, or because I definitely think the marathon's going to be taken. Like every time I need compact ammo, that's always going to be a staple now for me.
To be completely honest, dog, I ain't played the game in a while.
That's fair. What about you, gentlemen?
I mean, I always fall back on the Springfield. It's just so good. That or I'll take a Centennial because Centennial Dum Dum is absolutely monstrous.
Fair. And then I believe our Sir Kaiser is also he's been exceptionally busy with his IRL, in real life situation. He's got a little one he's been taking care of mostly. But
future hunter that I do not take into the bayou with me, but
he must protect.
I don't know, like one that I used a lot more before I kind of was taking more of a break was I always liked taking the sparks and whatnot, and I've really liked that true shot. Is that the packs?
Packs, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like the true shot packs with the sparks. Yeah, that's a really nice combo.
Sparks will never not be meta. That 149 damage is
so
killer.
Good. Yeah, I remember I was actually doing really well, and then it switched to the new event. Then, yeah, the one thing led to another, and then I was like, okay, this isn't working anymore. So, and it could just be, all the things we've discussed about it.
Absolutely. And I've personally been a huge fan of long shooting pistols and shotguns just because it feels like it covers most of my bases in terms of speed, and pistols will at least tag them. That way I can get close as they need to heal. That's why I've always loved uppercut. But that damn marathon, I can't put it down. You know what's funny is I saw a comment that it was talking about the history specifically of pump action rifles because somebody was asking, did they fall out of popularity because they always jammed? Was there something specifically wrong with them? That actually was kind of debunked by somebody who said it was more of supply versus demand because a lot of those lever actions were more preferred. They felt more natural. They were more abundant, like the Winchesters back in those times. And that's why you didn't see something like the Marathon take hold, is the mechanism was more complicated. They weren't as popular of a device, and the brand that sold them wasn't as name heavy as like the Winchesters. So that specifically is why you didn't actually see more of these. If you were ever curious why more of your war games didn't have the pump action rifles, it's not that they were poor of use, it's that time and place. Fun fact. But at the same time, I mean, I may overall replace the in terms of Hunt Showdown, I may replace the Winfield entirely with the Marathon due to not needing a trait for the hip fire, even if it isn't quite as fast.
Don't worry, Winfield. I'll
always love the Winfield too, especially the Centennial. I think the Centennial is the GOAT, mostly because price range, ammo types, it's got it all. And it matches with my favorite pistol in the game, the packs. packs is just amazing. Period. And it
Ditto.
touches. Yeah, it's way too fun. Also, I since Hunt's been a little slower, I just kind of want to be real with you, audience, since mostly the real ones have made it to the end, and everybody else has just listened up to a point. We are thinking of making a brand new podcast. We're working on it. It's in the works. And we want to talk about general gaming, maybe some internet drama, whatever we want to sprinkle in there. If you guys appreciate us, for us, you're more than welcome to tune in. We'll definitely announce it when we get it finalized. It'll be the same boys. Expect to hear from all of us in it. And we look forward to our first episode. That's actually been something we've been cooking up in the background. That's not the reason we missed the past week, but we did brainstorm a little too much, and we got a little too caught up in our real lives. But I really hope that you guys will come and listen to that as well when we get that finalized.
I'll finally be able to release my Liberty Manifesto in audio form.
We'll finally be able to talk about whatever the hell. I really am looking forward to more Hunt news, but I definitely think we're in a drought.
We need to wait it out.
Yeah, it's definitely like a Hunt has settled down. That's not a bad thing. I'm actually looking forward to playing more Hunt. I'm actually engaging with the game once again. I don't know about all the boys. We actually had one go out and see the eclipse since that just recently happened, all of you U.S. listeners. Well, I don't know. How was the eclipse all over the world? I didn't actually pay attention. Mostly just...
It was over North America.
That's North America. Figures, North America would be... Yeah, because it was like in different states, in different percentages. But I didn't actually realize, what other countries might have experienced it.
There might be some others, but I don't know which. I just knew it was prominently over the North Americas.
That's about the only reason we'd hear about it, right? Otherwise,
new Hunt event, eclipse.
No, we're done with the moon.
Well, now hang on. You're onto something because
it's the sun and the moon.
Well, an eclipse would be amazing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it has like that kind of like darkish and those reds and things like that, and it's like
shadows.
I don't know. I think it's if you do it right, you got to make it very different than these events, though. That's what we've kind of realized with this game is that they're kind of recycling the events and just putting a new coat of paint on them, and they need to start thinking more outside the box. And that's what was interesting about this one, that center location that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah. And please, for the love of God, get rid of the lawful pact. Holy shit. I definitely think that you had an idea. It's a terrible idea. And I've seen it used in certain circumstances where it's absolute cancer. Please don't allow people to Red Skull revive without a bounty. I'm going to make that finalized in my words.
I mean, the amount of people that I've seen that just hide in a bush until the fight's over and then go res their buddies blows my mind.
It's disgusting. Absolutely vile, dude. Please make more skins like the Redneck's Daughter. Hexbreaker, my God. We didn't bring him up specifically. I wish I would have brought him up earlier in the episode.
Good old Van Helsing.
We need more shit like that. The absolute beauties that don't rotate out. And what's funny is a couple of the other Hunt creators that I've listened to also agreed, stop with the FOMO, man. At least in terms of like the best shit. I think it's marvelous that you kept the Plague Doctors in the regular rotation. Yeah, don't fail to keep doing that.
Now that we've got Plague Mommy, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah. And hell, even, what's his name? Bile, Corvid Bile, is almost an improvement to the Plague Doctor. Dare I say, don't lynch me. I'm a Plague Doctor owner myself, and I love him. And I wanted
to release him for blood bonds.
Before he was cool.
You won't, Crytek. You won't. You won't release him for blood bonds.
Not before he was cool. He was always cool, man. Like Plague Doctor was literally like when
I
he
want
fucking
that
released.
skin. Like that's one of the skins that I'd be like, if that's the only skin you released, like it'd be like that's the only one I'll take.
I don't think we actually touched on this, but we'll make it the very last subject. The MMR rework is confirmed. Thank fuck.
Ooh.
Other big streamers confirmed it. They talked with David Fifield themselves. There's even audio clips of them. I don't have them exactly, but just be assured that it is coming, and we will now. If people want an MMR drop, it seems like they're gonna have to make one hell of an effort. Separate quick play and bounty hunt MMRs, please. Why was that ever
Not a bad
connected?
idea.
Like, it's literally dog shit that it was ever connected in the first place. But I will be sure to link that Hunt Labs video. If you guys haven't already seen it, just go watch it. That guy does amazing work. And there's even a couple of YouTubers that do Hunt Mythbusters and shit, man. There's so much to learn. We'll be sure to touch on it if you guys don't want to go seek it out yourselves. And I'll be sure to link the videos. But we are going to wrap this episode up. Our next one, if you're still here listening, is going to be with the guys from Waiting for Other Players podcast. Those guys are incredible.
Yeah.
It's not too much of a spoiler. I
No, I'm
really
just
hope you
saying,
guys
oh, announcement, oh, hey.
I really hope you guys look forward to it. They're a great podcast. They, like I said, they had our boy Rat over on their podcast. Go give it a listen if you haven't already. But thank you all so much for listening to this episode. And as always, my fellow hunters, stay hunting.
Love you. Bye.